Now back to our top story. A federal judge is ruling that the NYPD violated civil rights of thousands of New Yorkers with its stop and frisk policy, and the city vows to appeal. We showed you some reaction earlier, and what does all of this mean for the future mayor? Our power panel is joining us today, journalist Lynn White and Dr. Jackie Guzda, professor of media communications at the University of Connecticut and Western Connecticut State University. Welcome, ladies.
Great to be here.
What do you think about the mayor's announcement that he will appeal? What good does this do, because he's not going to be mayor in a few months?
Oh, he's got to state what he wants to happen to the city in the future. I mean, of course they were going to appeal. Personally, I'm really glad that this came up, because forever, this has been a long time in the making. These young men of color, and I'm a college professor, I hear their stories constantly. They really have no rights, and the Fourth Amendment was one of the reasons that the judge said that stop and frisk was unconstitutional. There's, you know, it's been a climate of unreasonable search in their own neighborhoods.
This has been an issue for 10
years.
It's
Yeah.
decades long. And Lynn, we know that only about 10% of those stopped and frisked resulted in arrest.
And all they need to do is look at you and decide, am I going to touch this person? Am I going to frisk this person? Am I going to arrest this person? You could have a wallet in your pocket, which 95% of them do, and you're still going to be stopped. It's like being stopped while you're black or Hispanic, and that's wrong in this country, which stands for democracy.
Let's talk about some of the reaction today from the PBA. The PBA said this is only going to make the job of police officers who in this city have the toughest policing job perhaps in the world only more difficult, because it's going to remove discretion. What do you say?
The opposite. What you want is trust between the community and the police officers who patrol the community. And
you think that has been eroded with this?
Completely. There's no trust. You have to build that up again. And this ruling could help. It's almost a 200-page ruling where there are some parts where you have the police and the community joining together to try to figure out how do we best eradicate crime. Well, that's the way to do it.
Speaking of that, the judge took the mayor to task for not participating in this earlier. She said, I would have liked to have input from the Bloomberg administration, but they refused. Why? When all of this could have been avoided with more of a consensus of agreement.
Look, I have no doubt that Ray Kelly is trying to keep us safe and protect us. No doubt. But it's the method, the manner that he's going about doing it. As Lynn said, these kids are living in a climate of fear in their own neighborhoods. So by going and playing this game of the police being the hunters and the residents are the hunted, it's creating this dichotomy between the citizens and the police who are there to serve the citizens themselves.
And it's not Nazi Germany. They're not the Gestapo, but they're acting as if they are.
Sure.
Now, again, the mayor is not going to be in office within a few months. This is all going to fall into the lap of the next mayor. What challenges will that person, he or she, face? Lynn, what do you think?
Hopefully they'll be more realistic about crime and the approach to crime, more modern about it. This is really antiquated, and it doesn't serve anybody well. I could see if the people they were rounding up were known criminals and crime was being eradicated because of it. There are no statistics that would show us that. In fact, crime has been going down since the late 90s, believe it or not, nationwide, not just here. So,
but some people might say it is because of this in this city, which is what the mayor has said.
But many cities don't even have it.
That's right. And there's no proof of that connection between stop and frisk and the crime rates plummeting.
All right, let's talk about something we may see right away. The judge also said that she wanted experimentation with body cameras on the police officers. Right. What do you think about that? I mean, you just don't find a camera overnight, do you?
I think that's great. In 5 precincts, that's going to be done if it goes through. And I think it's wonderful, because then you'll have a record of it and you'll know what's happening, hopefully. I mean, right now we have citizens who take out their cell phones and they video record things that happen. And sometimes you don't like what you see. Maybe there will be some caution on the part of the police officers if they know they're being videoed by their own.
And what if Peter Zimroth, who is going to be the monitor, what does he face? What can we expect from him? He was a former city council counsel for the city.
Right. Well, see, here's the good thing, is that this law now will be under constant review. If something happens, we're not going to just say, oh, stop and frisk, it's legal. No, we can amend the law as different cases come up. I think it's a great idea.
Well, it's certainly a new start here. Ladies, thank you so much.
Thanks.